Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel, the Willow Creek N-Scale Model Railway. I got another video for you today. I have got something a little bit different today. We've got a bit of a building that I picked up. It's a Walther's kit it's already been pre-made, so I'll show you the building in a second. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to strip it all down and I am going to start from scratch again, and it's got basically 99% of the parts there. Now I bought this building second hand, so I've already bought this kit before. It's a Walther's industry office. I'll just hold this up. I know it's probably all back to front by the way I'm filming this, but anyway, it's a Walther's industry office, N-Scale obviously, as I do. The product code for this is 9333834. As I said, I have already bought one of these. It's actually on the layout now. It's the yard office at Willow Creek there at the moment. But throughout this video, I'm going to do a little bit of a process. It's going to be sort of like a renovation N-Scale style. I'm going to strip the whole building down. Luckily, whoever built this building didn't paint it. They haven't painted it at all. They have just basically cut it out and glued it together, so saves me a bit of a hassle of having to strip any paint back. But it's going to be a renovation and I'm going to rebuild that, and eventually it probably will end up as a yard office in Mojave, or I was even thinking maybe something to do with Powder River, the structure of Powder River. I've bought a number of other little kits, already pre-built second-hand kits that I'm planning on stripping down in the same way that I do this, and sort of renovate them so I can get them up onto the layout. But yeah, stay tuned. Obviously this could be a couple of part series. We'll see how we go, but I'll go ahead and I'll show you the kit and what I've got to contend with. Okay, so here's the kit. This is what I picked up. As I said, it hasn't been painted. 90% of the parts are here. It's missing. There's usually a chimney there. Everything else is sort of still on there. I mean, you can see where there's glue marks and all sorts there. So I'll see if I can get rid of most of them, and yeah, I'll strip this all the way back until, it's quite dusty too. I'll strip it all the way back, take all the parts out, and some of these downpipes aren't even glued on. But well, I've got the camera angle here. This was the Walther's kit I was talking about. There you go. It's around the right way. You can actually read it. Yeah, as I said, 9333843 is the kit, the product number there. And yeah, quite handy little buildings. But this is how it is at the moment. I'm going to start. I'll see if I can use a scalpel and sort of pry off what I can, and I'm going to use acetone. I'll see if I can soak the glue joints in acetone to sort of free them up. I mean, it looks like it's been X-layout too, so it's got bits of scenery on the bottom, but I'll see what I can free up, and I'll see what I can do and see how it turns out. Okay, here we go. I'm sort of trying to do this a little bit hard when you got a camera sort of jammed in your face, but let's get some acetone here, and I'm use an old paintbrush I have, and I'm just going to put it on and see just on the glue joints there. And see if that just goes through and weakens up some of the glue there so it will pop apart. Now this acetone is actually quite good stuff. It actually smells really, really good. I'm not telling you to sniff it, or I'm not telling you to smell it, but definitely use it in a well ventilated room for obvious reasons. Let's see if I can get around the windows and doors. Can't really quite see what I'm doing there. I've sort of got it's a little bit blurry and sort of goes out of focus, but it's not rocket science. I'm just putting acetone on all the glue joints that I can find. And leave it for a little bit, and hopefully that'll free up, and all these building sides should pop away. Okay, so sort of just giving that a little bit to soak in with the acetone, and should sort of, these parts should just sort of pop off, considering I just got into the glue, all the glue joints I could. Some parts aren't going to come off. I'll re-soak them again, but it's basically, just falling apart. So I'll go ahead and I'll dismantle the rest of this building like this, and then we'll get all the parts ready to be cleaned up. Alright, that's pretty much all. The building sides are all taken apart now. That acetone worked really, really well. As you can see, I'm using it cleaning up my mat, obviously. The importance of having a cut and mat, I suppose. But anyway, the windows were all out. I did break, there was a couple of little tiny windows. That's not a biggie. Also I think it's the acetate out of the glass, out of the windows there. I'll scrap all that. I'm going to use my own stuff there. But that's pretty much everything's pulled apart now. So what I'll do is, I'll give it a wash under some soapy water, and I'll start cleaning up the parts and see how I go at putting it back together again. Alrighty, so this is the art office I was telling you about before. This is at the Willow Creek Loco Depot. Now, this is the one I actually bought from that box I showed you previously. This is the kit that it came from. Obviously I don't have any decals or anything, but I've got ways to get around that. I've gone with a two-tone colour with the grey around the bottom and the red brick, so I'm going to do the same with the red brick on this this one I'm renovating at the moment. Also, the kit didn't have any handrails, but that's alright because I have got plenty of handrails and stairwells and bits and pieces. I'll just add on to that, but it's basically sort of the colour scheme that I'm going for, and hopefully it'll end up, semi-decent. Alright, the parts have all been washed with warm soapy water now. Got rid of most of the residue off them and got rid of them, nice and cleaned up. Whoever built this kit, when they cut the parts and the sprues, they hadn't really trimmed off the excess there, so it's I went through and I trimmed off the excess there. I see my scalpel there. I used a number 11 blade to trim all those up. Now, I'm not bagging anyone else's modelling skills or anything like that. We're all different. We all got different abilities, different skills and that. But I'll just say there's a little bit of work to do on this kit, and I'm in no way, means, shape or form to judge anyone else. I mean, they did a really good job in my eyes, and I'm in no position to judge, definitely. So yeah, but they did leave me a fair bit of trimming up to do and a fair bit of glue removal. But this is how it's going to go at the moment. The stairs and the base and that will all be painted like a concrete grey, and I'll sort of mask off the outer walls there and to do a two-tone sort of colour through there. More to come. Okay, so we got the first sections, got their first coat of paint on them. And with the stairwells have the concrete colour on, I am just basically using the Woodland Scenic concrete paint, and just using a little tiny sponge to just to get that sort of stippling effect on that concrete. So far so good. By the way, that looks really, really, really bright there, but don't worry, it just shows up brighter on the camera. But you'll see as we go along. Alrighty, so with those parts drying, the first coat of red, etc., I'm going to show you here. These are my two, when I'm using modelling plastic, these are my two go-to glues that I use. They're Tamiya cement. The one on the left here is a extra thin, as it says, and the normal sort of consistency on the right there. The extra thin I use a lot for windows, very fine details, etc. like that. And the other stuff in the white, with the white cap on it, is I use for the bulk gluing when I'm gluing walls, etc. So those are my two glues. I know there's a lot of other glues out in the market, but these seem to work really well for me, so I sort of stick with what works best for me. Okay, coming on to the roof. This is the roof here. Now the roof, I've got rid of, there's still some bits of glue on there on the roof, but what I'm going to do is Walthers have actually got these little ridges in there. I don't know if you can see that. You can see it better there. And that's supposed to look like roofing material or something, but what I'm going to do, and what I have done on previous models, I'm going to sheet this completely with sandpaper. I'm going to use sandpaper as the roofing type, and specifically I use a really fine grit. At this one I'm using a P800 sandpaper. Yeah. And I'll go ahead, I'll cut that to size, and I'll use that as the roofing material for the roof of this building, just to sort of get a little bit of difference. I've used this before on a couple other buildings on the layout there, and it's come out quite well, so I'm going to use it on this model here. I just have to cut it to size, and obviously where this I'm not too sure whether that's I'm not too sure, because that's meant to be the chimney. That, yeah, whatever that is there, I'm just going to have to measure and cut around it and see if I can get see if my measuring is any good, and see if I can get this roof sheeted. And just like that, with a little bit of careful cutting and a little bit of glue, we got the roof all sheeted up like that, and that is ready to go on, and we'll carry on with the next parts. So here I have, I've just sprayed the grey on the bottom there for the two-tone on the brickworks there, and I used Tamiya masking tape down the bottom there, and I sort of run out of other masking tape, so I used the normal household sellotape to mask the rest of it, but that's pretty much ready to go, and we'll unmask that and we'll see what it looks like. And voila! Damn, they look so bright on the camera. They're not actually that bright in real life. Yeah. But anyway, they're all masked up. The grey around the bottom's all done. You can see here where I'm pointing down here, this section here, and this section here on the brickwork, it's sort of been eaten away. I think that might have been the glue the previous builder put on, is sort of eaten away at the brickwork, but that's not a biggie because the stairs are going to cover that anyway. But apart from the rest of it, it's actually come up pretty well. So we've got the 4 wall sections, the base and the roof, and basically from now everything is ready to sort of be assembled. And obviously not forgetting the windows, we'll get all the windows in and put the glass in the windows. But yeah, it seems to be coming along really well. And also, if you are using this spray paint, I tell you what, go outside, because oh yeah, it's I'm using a Tamiya spray, and definitely go in a well ventilated room. I mean, it smells nice, but definitely not telling you to sniff it, and I'm not telling you to smell it. But yeah, make sure you're in a well ventilated room, because it'll get you, it'll take you off into wild places. But yeah, so far in the renovation, this is where we are, and stay tuned, and we'll start the construction process very shortly. So with a little bit of persuasion, we got the kit to sort of glue together. I got like the main walls and all that put on. It hasn't come up too bad, considering what it is, but that's where we are at the moment. It's yeah, it's actually coming up quite good. Okay, welcome back. Well, I say welcome back because it's actually the next day, and I got all the walls assembled, obviously, in the last clip there. But I've gone and put all the windows back in, and I've got the glass I still got to put in. And as per usual, of course, it was the front window here that I sort of broke, but I've got an idea to fix that up. But it's actually looking not too bad at the moment, and as things are going, I'm just going to go through and I'm going to put in all my mortar lines on the brick and sort of get the brick weathered up. Also, what that will do is it will take off some of that red, because some of that red is it's quite bright. It's not bright in real life, but on the camera it's really bright. So and just get some white paint. Yeah, I'll just paint all the brickwork here. And again, I'm trying to do this with the camera jammed in my face. So just paint the brick there. Just be careful not to get any on the windows there. And let's get that brick all painted off. I'm just using just a normal white acrylic paint. And just make sure we're getting into all the little nooks and crannies and of the brickwork there. Get all our little mortar lines. Like that. And once I've done that, I'll just come over with a Q-tip. And just wipe off the excess there. Just taking it back, just revealing, taking all the paint off the brick and just leaving whatever's in the mortar lines in the mortar lines. And sorry, I've gone out of focus there. I was watching what I was doing instead of actually watching on the screen and what I was filming. So hopefully you can see that all right. It's coming up pretty good there. And then just go over and just make sure that all the brick looks nice and even and there's no big blobs of paint or anything anywhere. And yeah, it's looking quite good. And it's the white in this mortar line here sort of dulls down the model as well. But a bit up there. The thing with acrylic paints, when you're doing this, if you're doing a big model, you want to do it in sections, sort of, because if you go ahead and you paint the whole thing white, by the time you get to wipe it off, it's actually half dried away. And yeah, so just small sections. This one's alright, this is only a small kit. But that's basically the look I'm going for there. I'll get all this done. I'll continue around the building doing all these mortar lines, and we will continue on. And so I went around and continued the brick mortar. Yeah, I got a little bit of cleaning up to do, but there's that done, and the roof is on. The air vents, I suppose you could call them, are all on the roof, and the roof is in position there. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put the glass in the windows and see if I got some handrails for those front steps to go up, and maybe some decals. I've still got the awning to go on above the two front doors there. The drain pipes I took off earlier, but no, it's definitely coming along really well. Okay, so now with that done, here we are. We've got the handrails on, they're all painted up. The front awning is on, painted up, with the down pipes put on there, and they're all painted up. And I'll just give it a turn. As I said, these windows here, some of these broke when I pulled them out, but you know where this is going to go. I've got ballast and gravel that'll go up against there and maybe hide it with a little bush or something. But I did a light bit of weathering there on the back. That little back shed there. These other bits are going to be blanked off. And I've still got to replace this little bit there. I'm thinking about making it look so it's like it's been boarded up, like it's been broken and something's been boarded up. But Almost there. Now with that front piece boarded up, I think I'm pretty much done. I'm happy how this turned out, and from what it was to what it is now, it's definitely looks the part now. But well, that's part of my renovation, and hopefully you enjoyed watching that. Hopefully it wasn't too boring, and I have got a couple other kits that I'm going to think about doing this too. But for this, I've got a couple of little office decals and stuff like that. I'm going to put maybe like in the previous building, like yard office decal up here or something, and bits and pieces. These vents down the lower bottom here on the grey section down here, I can just hide them up with grass tufts and bushes and stuff, so I'm not too worried about that. But from what it was to what it is now, it looks a lot better. I'm very pleased with it. Cheers for sticking around there and watching me throughout this. It's quite a long video on what I did here, but definitely if you like what you see, definitely hit subscribe there, like the video. Jump on, subscribe, and you'll get new upcoming videos as I post them. And definitely drop a comment in the comment section if you want to know anything or anything like that. But as far as this building's concerned, it's not too bad considering I just picked it up as a renovation doer-upper, and I'm happy how it came out. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I love making these videos for you, and definitely, yeah, like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.